Welcome back to our Elul Reflections of 2024. We're very near to the end of the month of Elul. And throughout this month, we've been reading excerpts from Enter These Gates, Meditations for the Gates of Awe by Alden Solovy, which is a wonderful, lovely book. We've also been discussing it on Shabbat mornings for the last couple of weeks. Our reading today, to help us get into the mood for Rosh Hashanah, is called What to Cherish. Cherish not your triumphs, nor your successes, nor the accolades that follow. They are not seen or heard on high. Cherish the healing you bring to others, the blessings you bestow, seen and unseen, heard and unheard, the medicine your life brings to the world. This resounds in heaven and shakes the foundations of earth. Mountains will dance, seas will rejoice, and the sky will smile when the joy of service is the source of your satisfaction and the mission of your life. When I read this story, one of the things I think about is many years ago, 8 years ago or so, when we had young adult homeless people stay at our temple. They slept on the floor. Our members of our community fed them, clothed them, fixed their clothing. I played board games with them. And we helped them go from a very disparate gathering of individuals to a group who actually helped support each other. And they wanted to come back as they went round from faith community to faith community. They wanted to come back to Temple Beth Shalom because they felt so supported and so seen by our members. And I was getting a tire fixed one day, and in a store, a tire store, and somebody said to me, "You don't remember me, do you?" And I said, "I'm really sorry. I meet a lot of people. I don't remember you." I said, "Your face is really familiar." And they said, I actually was part of that program. And your community, you saved our lives. And there were some of the kids who were around at the time who were very dangerously struggling with addiction and with mental health issues. And your community provided healing for them. And your community supported them and saw them. And this person listed off every individual that I could remember and told me what they were doing and said, "Look, all of these people made it in particular because of your community." And that really sticks with me as I read this, because that's really what counts in life. Not how famous we are, not how important we are, not what medals or achievements or recognition we have. Whether or not we brought medicine, whether or not we brought healing to the world. Because whoever saves, according to Talmud, whoever saves one life saves the whole world. And it doesn't just have to be saving life. I remember a conversation I had when I was a student rabbi. I was leading a service, and a woman asked me if she could mourn, if she could say Kaddish. And I said, "Of course you can say Kaddish. Why wouldn't you say Kaddish?" She said, "Because I'm a woman. And I was always told that women don't say Kaddish." I said to her, "Are you a mourner?" And she said, "Yes, I'm a mourner." I said, "Then you should say the mourner's Kaddish." And to me, it was a very small conversation. I didn't remember that conversation until about 6 years later, when our paths crossed again. And she said, I'm now the president of my temple." And I said, "That's amazing. That's wonderful." I said, "What was your journey to being president?" She said, "It started with you letting me say Kaddish." And so we never know the enormous impact that just a small act of decency, kindness. For me, it wasn't even that. In that example, it was obvious to me. But we all do this. We all have the potential to, and usually do, share nice thoughts, feelings, help people, bring goodness to the world. And that's what counts on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Who we are, not what we've achieved. Whether or not we have brought life to the world, whether or not we have helped sustain life. And I really love the way that Alden Solovy says the mountains will dance, the seas will rejoice, and the sky will smile. He's using imagery here very similar to the book of Psalms, which very often was very thundering and so on, a sort of thundering, angry, tumultuous. Here it's very much celebrating. The entire universe celebrates with us when the joy of service is the source of our satisfaction. Not the joy of achievement, not the joy of fame, the joy of doing the right thing. And that, I think, leads to a feeling that is called contentment. Not happiness necessarily, maybe joy of service, he puts, but the feeling of I live my life for others, for myself and for others. I live my life to help other people. And service, avodah, in Judaism is religious service. Ultimately, the avodah was the sacrificial service, and it became the prayer service. The idea of us serving God by serving others, I think is really important here. Because as we come to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, if you want to hold by the metaphor of the book of life that's assessing our good deeds, it doesn't assess how famous we are. It doesn't assess what awards we received. It assesses how good we are. And we all have the power to be good. There's a tradition of blowing the shofar through the month of Elul, the blessing Lishmoa Kol Shofar. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll return for one final Elul reflection on Wednesday. And I hope today you're able to celebrate not just your achievements, but particularly the good acts that you can do and the possibility of helping others perform good deeds too. And we'll be back on Wednesday.